Hello, so welcome to Observa-Scope. Today is our first video and I will showing up what is observability, a little intro, how to set up OpenTelemetry in 3 different environments. So in Nest.js, Next.js, and Python. I choose these 3 environments because it's upside project that I am building. So as I want to mention that Observa-Scope, this channel is built for blogging my progress, my transition from simple front-end engineer to SRE, DevRel engineering or solution engineering. So this is why I'm aspiring in 2025. So yes, thank you for watching, and if you like it, subscribe, comments with questions, and yes, challenge myself to go further about observability tools and in coding instrumentation. So first of all, we'll be seeing what is OpenTelemetry, what is observability and why it matters nowadays. So just quickly, so everyone knows that observability help us to see what is happening inside our systems. So that's why it's important. Before we have the test, functional test, A2E, E2E test, unit testing. But now that we have observability, so just a quick difference of what is observability and what is OpenTelemetry, because these are words that are popping up in the market now, or in jobs descriptions or something. So we must know that observability is like a practice in monitoring, how monitoring in SRE. And OpenTelemetry is an open source framework that helps us to instrument our code and put like little agents or little probes in our code to identify, anomalize, or bottlenecks, and set up traces, metrics, and logs. Metrics are for performance measurement. Give us things like response time, CPU usage, uptime. This gives us a high-level view of our system's health. And logs. Logs are detailed records of events, error requests, or database queries. This help us to debug and help us to know where the things went wrong. And the traces. The traces shows the path of a request. It's the whole journey of what happened from a start point to the end point. Across multiple services, to help us to see where the bottlenecks or the failure occur. And the traces are super useful nowadays in the microservice architectures, because nowadays we're using more and more microservices. So that's what observability basics are. So basically, if we have metrics, logs, and traces, we have already we can say that we can have on our observability stack. Now that we all understand what is observability, we need to collect this data and view this data. So this is where our monitoring tools take place, like Dynatrace, Splunk, Grafana, or SigNoz. And now, where OpenTelemetry comes in. OpenTelemetry, it's an open source framework that helps us to instrument our applications and capture data to send it to these tools. Like, So yes, inspired by the IBM, I will be drawing my diagram here to make it more dynamic, this video. So yes, check out IBM videos about observability. So what I wanted to say, in our diagram we will have the applications. Okay, all these are, as I say, will be running locally in my machine. So all will be localhost. Front end, a backend, and an external API. Because actually I want to have like microservices. Okay, so these apps will be installing OpenTelemetry. OpenTelemetry. Okay, OpenTelemetry sends data. Okay, but to sell this data, he needs an hotel collector. How can we install an hotel collector? So, an hotel collector can be installed by itself, okay, in standalone, or some tools like we'll be seeing today, SigNoz or Grafana. But the LGTM stack that are open source. These two tools we will be seeing in these videos. Okay, so this tool has auto collector already installed. SigNoz has his own auto collector. Grafana LGTM stack has his own auto collector, and we can install it by the help of Docker. So we have just a Docker compose to run out, and we can start sending data to this auto collector, and we'll be seeing our metrics, logs, and traces in our UI. So let's get started to hands-on in the screen record session. So now that I show you a little bit the infrastructure, actually has to be like this. So here the applications. So as I said, Next.js, this is the backend, and Next.js, this is the front end, and Python, this is the API. So we're gonna put here API. And backend. So yes, as I said before, this will be instrumented by OpenTelemetry. This will be sending telemetry to the hotel collector, and actually we'll be seeing all this data ingested by SigNoz. Okay, so SigNoz actually works this way. We'll be sending the data to the hotel collector. The hotel collector will be storing the data in the ClickHouse database, and the query service will be requesting to this database, and will be also can be requested by the alert manager. Okay, this data query service will be sending the data to the SigNoz UI. That is the front end. This is where we will be seeing our metrics, traces, and logs. Okay, let's go and see the front end part. What will be needing to install? What SDK? What tracer? What's the difference? Also, what between web tracer and SDK in OpenTelemetry? And yes, what are all the package we need to send the data and configure our auto collector? Actually, I'm gonna show you the feature. I'm gonna show you that it's instrumented custom instrumented is the authentication. Okay, in auth. So here, as you can see, we have already set up the instrumentation for the front end, and yes, all the package already installed. I will be making up more short videos to tutorials for each kind of framework or programming language to install OpenTelemetry in the future. But yes, for now, it's just a quick overview. We have all instrumented. We have to turn on SigNoz and to deploy Docker. Okay, and in Docker, can do a Docker compose up D for detach, and SigNoz is starting. Okay, I already show you the infrastructure of SigNoz. So these are all the components that are getting up, and we'll be seeing these running the UI. So where we can see our application performance metrics. So in the port 3301. So we just wait a little bit. That is getting up. So this is the application actually that I told you. So it's really basic. Will be improving. UI will be improved. All will be improved step by step, and will be blogging. Let's see. That we have already this. So you see my backend already sent some data. Was a pull connection to the PostgreSQL database. As we can see, I have an error, okay, in my database. This is trying to connect to an AP that is not the good one. So this is already in my monitoring system. I can already know what is happening in my application without going inside the code. But if I go here and I go to my backend, the logs of my backend, okay, that is running in localhost, I see here already that it's enabled to connect to my database. and is because the URL of this of this of this database is not the good one. Okay, it's actually just I explain you a little basic because I wanted to understand the people that doesn't understand about code can understand. So what we have to do is change the database connection in the app module. No, sorry, in the in my because actually this database is running here. If I see a Docker, yes. Actually, I don't know if I have CTOP. Yes, CTOP. I have the database here running. Okay, if I have a log, okay, this is the database. And if I go and see services, backend, full connection, it's still running in error. Trying. We're gonna run again the and here you see that it's all running perfect. The database, the Nest.js could connect to the database, and if we return to SigNoz, we see that will be more connections. That okay, some queries, we have more queries now. Okay, why? Because database could connect it to the local host and could start some transactions. And as you can see, we can see this the kind of system of our DB. So in the cases MySQL, MongoDB, this attribute, this value is gonna change. So the user is mixing roots, host name, mommy engineer, that is me. Well, so now let's interact from the front end. So the UI. So it doesn't matter if you see some console logs about the username and the password because it's not so sensitive data. So it's okay. It's just for the net demo. So first, I have to recompile always. Never forget to recompile because I actually also I actually change the URL of the collector setup that is running in port 4318. So remember, if you want to send requests via HTTP protocol, you must use uh, port 4318 from the. Now interacting a little bit with the UI, just doing some get requests. Now um, we can see in signals that we have the service, the front-end service now that we are here, and we're getting some events and traces. So here the attributes again. So this is not so well correlated with the backend because I'm figuring out how to correlate these two, but I actually have another example of correlation. So it will be the Python API with this backend in Nest.js that I have that actually is what is gonna serve from to authenticate actually and secure my request through the Python API. Well, but anyway, after seeing that the front end also works after setting up the instrumentation, we can see that the login works. So here we have all the traces, all the dependencies that um, are triggering when we um, go to the endpoint of of London. So if we go to the post, we can see to the endpoint London. You can see that I have some events. So actually, these events I instrumented in the London service that I can show you now. So, um, well, going to the backend code once again in Nest.js. So this is a JavaScript framework. So I have to go to my service file where here I have all my functions that interact with the authentication. So here I have my validated by user. So that actually this has my find by user by name, and actually all these responses that I'm triggering here, I can um instrument it. So I can pass it with the help of OpenTelemetry and display it in the monitoring tools like SigNoz Grafana or whatever you want to use. But whatever we want to use that is support OpenTelemetry supported. But actually most of the tools supports OpenTelemetry. Well, now I will show you some correlation. So the backend, this backend interacts with an API. Um, this API just gave us some food recommendation by posting some dietary restrictions and mood. Okay, really basic. Make a request through a make file. So like that is quicker and I don't have to interact through the UI or the demo. And here, if we go to the services, I see that my backend interact with Cassava AI. So Cassava AI, it's also another project that I'm building. That it's an AI agent. We'll be seeing that in the future also. So you see, actually we have again all our traces here, our post method. The now I will be showing you the post that interacts with the Python API. Is created in Flask also. I will put in the description all the stack technology that I am using here. And again, you see all the information of our application. So this is just a little bit of the inside of the traces, but we can go further with these signal tools. Leave me is some comments if you want to explore with me more about signals. So, well, now that we have seen a quick overview about Signals tool, I'm gonna show you um, turning off Signals and just turning on Grafana because actually they are configured the same. Again, I'm gonna leave all the tech stack in the description. And again, if you want to ask me some question of how we set up SigNoz, this SigNoz stack or Grafana stack, just leave me in the comments. So now I have to go to just see if this is running. This is running, so this down. Okay, what I was trying to explain you before, so this uses the same port, so I must turn SigNoz down. SigNoz down. Okay, sorry for the typos. It's doing fast. Hungry. So actually I like to do this also because all my three environments are running in a local host, so it's quicker to change the UI. So I have to go to no. Too many CDs here, CD and Grafana. No, hotel. And we have here a script that run the LGTM stack. Once again, I'll leave you in the comment what is a LGTM stack. Well, this setup up for Loki, for Prometheus, for Tempo. So we are going just to focus on Tempo for this Grafana demo because we're just seeing traces in this video. Well, I show you some metrics also, but I just want to do a quick overview. So in this video, Grafana is running in the port 3001, no, sorry, in the in the 3000 actually, 23,000 ports. So here we have our Grafana, and we're going to go to Explore, and as I mentioned, we are going to concentrate just in Tempo. So if I go to again to my frontend and I just interact, so now I just refresh my page. We're a little bit slow now because I have again to the profile, and I'm just gonna log in again. And maybe log out also. So if I go to Explore, we also have to wait a little bit to the request came because a little bit of latency. So well, I have already my responses about me from the front end. So as you see, it's 2055. So this is from an hour, but if we do 5 minutes, we just have the front end. Okay, and if we run query again, so and here we can filter So here I have the backend. So as we saw before, I show you that I post again to the auth login, and here are all my traces again. So Postgres pull connect. What else we can, yes, here the events. So yes, these events that you see here are actually instrumented manually in my code here with the help of the API of OpenTelemetry. In the same way we saw it in SigNoz in another part of my code that is in the autocontroller before what is in the service. Thanks for watching.